The hidden price of being brilliant. Picture this. You're sitting in a meeting, and someone asks what everyone's doing this weekend. Around the table, people light up talking about brunches, Netflix binges, maybe a hike. When it's your turn, you freeze. Because what you actually want to say is that you've been consumed by a philosophy paper on consciousness, where you're building a complex model to understand market patterns, where you've fallen down a rabbit hole researching Byzantine history. But you know how that sounds. So you smile, say something generic, and feel that familiar hollow ache of being completely alone in a room full of people. If this resonates with you, you're not alone. Today, we're diving into the 14 hidden struggles of being highly intelligent, struggles that most people never see, and that intelligent people themselves often don't even recognize. The loneliness. Let's start with the most painful one. Feeling fundamentally misunderstood. When your mind naturally gravitates toward abstract, complex thinking, conversations can feel like you're speaking a different language. You're thinking 3 layers deep, while everyone else is comfortable on the surface. And here's what makes it worse. You learn to hide it. You develop this exhausting habit of dumbing yourself down just to fit in, like constantly wearing a mask that doesn't quite fit. The loneliness isn't about being alone. It's about being invisible while surrounded by people. 1. The depth gap. This leads directly into the next struggle. You crave those deep, meaningful conversations that dive into ideas, emotions, philosophy, the big questions. But most people prefer to keep things light. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a different wavelength. The problem is, this creates a gap. You might be perfectly socially capable, even charming at parties, but when it comes to true intimacy, intellectual and emotional, you find yourself with very few people who really get you. Quality over quantity sounds great in theory, but when quality means you can count your deep connections on one hand, it hurts. 2. The misunderstood. Here's an ironic twist. Your quick thinking and strong opinions, the very things that make you valuable in solving problems, can make you look arrogant. You're genuinely trying to help, offering solutions, connecting dots others might have missed, but it lands wrong. People think you're showing off or being condescending. So you start self-censoring, holding back in meetings, staying quiet in group conversations. And that silence, it just creates more distance between you and everyone else. 4. Carrying the weight of the world. Let's talk about something that keeps many intelligent people up at night. That heightened sensitivity to injustice and suffering. When you read the news, it's not just information. It feels personal. Global issues, systemic problems, human suffering. You feel it all deeply. Your empathy is turned up to maximum volume. And suddenly, everyday concerns feel trivial. How can you care about the office coffee situation when you're genuinely distressed about climate change, inequality, or humanitarian crises? This intensity is exhausting, and it can make you seem detached from the normal world around you. 5. The paralysis of possibility. Now let's move inward to the psychological battles. One of the most frustrating is overthinking everything. Your mind is wired to see multiple variables, countless possibilities, interconnected outcomes. That's powerful for complex problem solving. But for everyday decisions, it's torture. Should you take that job offer? Well, there are 17 factors to consider, each with branching consequences. What should you have for dinner? Suddenly you're weighing nutrition, ethics, budget, time, and environmental impact. This analysis paralysis can make even simple choices stressful because you're searching for the optimal answer when sometimes good enough is actually perfect. 6. The perfectionism trap. Hand in hand with overthinking comes perfectionism. You set standards that are not just high, they're unrealistic. And when you inevitably fall short of these impossible benchmarks, you feel like a complete failure. This isn't about having high standards. It's about having standards so high that success becomes impossible. The cruel irony? This perfectionism leads to procrastination. Why start if you can't do it perfectly? It creates burnout. And worst of all, it steals your ability to celebrate actual achievements because nothing ever feels good enough. 7. The imposter in the mirror. Your ability to see nuance is a gift, but it has a dark side. You see every flaw in your own performance with crystal clarity. While others might celebrate your success, You're cataloging everything that could have been better. That presentation that everyone loved. You remember the one transition that wasn't smooth. That project you completed? You know it could have been 5% better if you'd had another week. This harsh self-criticism creates this persistent imposter feeling. That creeping sense that you're not actually competent, that your successes are somehow accidental, or that people will eventually see through you. 8. Misdiagnosed and misunderstood. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Emotional intensity, vivid imagination, and high energy, what psychologists call overexcitabilities, can be mistaken for mental health issues. Your racing thoughts might be labeled ADHD. Your emotional depth might be called an anxiety disorder. And while these diagnoses are valid and important for many people, sometimes what looks like pathology is actually just the natural state of a highly intelligent, intensely feeling person. Being told you're broken for traits that are actually part of your cognitive profile, that's deeply damaging. 9. The potential monster. Let's talk about the phrase that haunts so many bright people: wasted potential. There's this constant drive to learn, grow, achieve, contribute. That's beautiful, but it can morph into anxiety. Are you doing enough? Are you using your abilities properly? This fear of underachieving creates chronic dissatisfaction, even when, objectively, your life is going well. It's like there's this relentless voice asking, yes, but what if you could do more? What if you're meant for something greater? That voice never stops, and it never lets you rest. 10. The expectation cage. This brings us to external pressure. When you're identified as intelligent early in life, everyone expects excellence. All the time. Family members assume you'll always have the answers. Teachers and later bosses expect you to exceed standards effortlessly. Anything less than exceptional feels like failure, not just to you, but to everyone watching. This spotlight is suffocating. It makes mistakes feel catastrophic. It makes trying new things terrifying, because what if you're not immediately brilliant at it? The expectations become a cage. 11. The burnout spiral. Because you can handle complex tasks and process information quickly, people pile responsibilities onto you. And because you care about doing things well, you say yes. And yes. And yes again. You become the person everyone turns to, the reliable one, the high performer. Until suddenly, you're not. Burnout doesn't arrive gradually. It crashes over you. Exhaustion, health issues, that complete loss of motivation. The worst part, people are disappointed because they've come to expect you'll always be on. 12. The imbalanced life. When you find something intellectually stimulating, you can get completely absorbed. Hours disappear. Days blur together. This deep focus is incredible for work and learning, but it crowds out everything else. Self-care becomes an afterthought. Hobbies vanish. Relationships suffer because you're always mentally elsewhere. You look up one day and realize your life has become dangerously out of balance, and the physical and emotional toll is real. 13. The boredom trap. Now imagine being trapped in routine, repetitive work. For a highly intelligent person, this isn't just boring. It's almost physically painful. Your mind needs complexity, novelty, challenge. Without it, you feel like you're suffocating. But here's the problem. From the outside, your disengagement looks like laziness or a lack of discipline. People don't understand it's not about unwillingness to work hard. It's about a fundamental mismatch between what your brain needs and what your environment provides. 14. The authenticity crisis. Finally, we come to perhaps the most existential struggle, the identity conflict. Should you hide your intelligence to be accepted, or should you use it fully and risk alienation? When you dumb yourself down, you feel inauthentic and guilty, like you're betraying yourself. But when you show up fully, you often face negative social consequences. This tension creates genuine confusion about who you really are. Can you be your complete self in this world? Or will parts of you always have to stay hidden? So there they are, 14 struggles that highly intelligent people navigate every single day, often in silence. If you saw yourself in these struggles, I want you to know something important. You're not broken. You're not too much or too intense or too complicated. Your mind works differently. And yes, that comes with challenges. But it also comes with incredible gifts. The ability to see connections others miss, to feel deeply, to imagine possibilities, to solve complex problems, to think about the big questions that matter. The key is learning to work with your mind rather than against it, finding the environments, people, and pursuits that match your intensity, building a life that honors both your intellectual needs and your human needs. And most importantly, giving yourself permission to be exactly who you are, brilliant mind, sensitive heart, and all. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments which struggle hit closest to home. And remember, your intelligence isn't a burden to manage. It's a force to be understood and channeled. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more.